In this episode of Travelogue, we'll whisk you away on a whirlwind adventure through some of the most spectacularly beautiful landscapes in the world. We'll visit the renowned Lake Canis and try our luck at finding its elusive monster. And we'll journey through some fascinating towns and villages on China's frontier. Hi, I'm James Lamb and welcome to Travelogue. On the last episode, we got to know Altai City and its colourful Kazakh residents. Today, we're going to go in search for the elusive Lake Canis monster and journey through some fascinating border towns. But first off, we're going to go to Foraging. Sit back and enjoy. After a 2.5 hours drive west of Altai City, we arrived in Foraging. This town of some 70,000 people sits on the northern edge of the Jungara Basin, which stretches from the Altai Mountains to the Tian Shan Mountains in the south. With Russia not far away, the town's architecture has a certain European flair. Now, a lot of people heading to Canis make a pit stop here in the northern Xinjiang city of Foraging. There are loads of places to stay here, but if you want something with a difference, then this ethnic Russian family-run hostel is definitely for you. It really has a Russian feel to it. Look at the decor. And this map. This map was hand-drawn by the owner. We're actually quite close to Russia, so ethnic Russian minorities live here. Definitely a quaint place to stay as part of your Canis adventure. Hotel prices here tend to be cheaper than Canis, 130 kilometers north. Foraging is a comfortable place to stay, so I really suggest you spend some time here relaxing and taking in the local sights. 怎么会有那么多摄影设备啊？我们刚从哈拉斯下来。啊，我们也要去吧。哦，那哈拉斯很美啊。哦，你们有看到水怪吗？水怪要运气很好才能看到。哦，我们真的很希望能看到。希望你们能看到。是水怪吗？不是水怪，这是那个一个飘木。Our new friends' story about their time in Canis have made us even more excited about going there. But first, there's something we have to do in Foraging. A must-see here is the Yardang landscape, sculpted by nature's power. Strong winds from Siberia and Central Asia leave Xinjiang dotted with magnificent wind-eroded scenery like this. We literally had to race here before the sunset. We're at the Wucai Town, which literally translates to five-colour beach. And look at the colours. It's really extraordinary. And the most amazing thing is, there's a river that divides this place. And on the one side, it's barren, rocky, deserted landscape. Look at the colours, it's so mysterious. And on the other side, it's green, luscious forest. Just take a closer look. Amazing stuff. Those funny-looking hats aren't Xinjiang fashion items. They serve the highly practical function of protecting you from mosquitoes from the town's rivers. The mosquitoes appear as the sun sets, but once you've sprayed on a bit of repellent, you're ready to hit the Foraging night market beside the river. Everyone who comes here must try their cold water fish. The fish is firmer than warm water fish, and here they're grilled and seasoned with cumin. 叫什么鱼？这个叫捉罗龟，漂亮吧？哇！还有最好的 They really love their fish here. 还有狗鱼的啊，还有这么大的小江小啊，好漂亮的！无里无子的野生黑鱼，哦，它厉害的很，就在长池里。They're especially crazy about their river cod and perch, which aren't commonly found in other parts of China. As far as I know, this is the first time I've eaten fish caught from waters running into the Arctic. It's pretty exciting. The smell and taste are just divine. It's tempting to carry on eating and drinking all night. We're just on our way to Canis now, and we're passing through some impressive mountains. In Xinjiang, when you're travelling, it's not just about the destination, but it's also the journey that really counts. We're actually getting quite close to Canis, and check out how the landscape's changed. It's really green now, and there are actually lots of pine trees in the landscapes, and you see lots of animal grazing. And look at this one. I just came across him, this old man walking his kid's sheep. Really cute. Having a car is the way to see Xinjiang, except inside Canis. Everyone's expected to take one of the green buses. Here in the Canis National Geopark, the crown jewel is Lake Canis, home, if you believe the local folklore, to a mysterious creature. I tell you what, we're having dinner with two staff here last night, and they were telling us about their encounter with the monster here at Canis. And they were saying that the monster likes to emerge early in the morning when the lake is really eerie and quiet. So we're here up nice and early in the morning, and although it's the middle of summer, it's really freezing. So let's hope we can film the monster for you. Really excited. Finally made it to the Guanyitai, the best place to see the monster. I've seen some amazing photos and heard some fascinating stories about it, and I've wanted to see Canis for years. But the clouds refuse to reveal the lake in all its glory for the moment, lingering and adding to the air of mystery. It's surreal to finally be up here, and also it's like a dream come true. I can sense the excitement with the crowd on the viewing platform being tantalized by the prospect that the ripples in the water may be a sign of the monster, believed to be a gigantic 10-meter-long Siberian salmon. If the sensation it causes is anything to go by, Canis's monster has every bit as much star potential as its counterpart in Loch Ness.
I guess our encounter with the monster wasn't meant to be. But I still think you should come here and try your luck though. Whatever happens, you're going to leave with a wide smile on your face after seeing the impossibly beautiful lake and the clouds. It will make you feel as if you were in heaven. And one more thing, you're going to leave with loads of jealousy-inducing photos to take home.
Superlatives about this glacial lake abound. The tourism authorities call it fairyland. Personally, I find it strikingly similar to Switzerland's Lake Geneva. In a word, Lake Canis is simply stunning. It may be tempting to jump in the water here, but for safety and environmental reasons, swimming's not allowed. The next best thing is hopping on a cruise boat to the heart of the lake, where you can stare deep down and try to spot the monster. Wow, look how clear and pristine the water is. The monster's down there somewhere. After the cruise, I highly recommend you break away from the crowd and immerse yourself in nature by taking to one of the quiet trails. They'll lead you through some truly inspiring scenery. Up next, we'll journey through more Canis wilderness, meet its Tuvan people before heading south to Baihaba village, and then entering an extraordinary desert oasis. It's a good idea to get up nice and early to get a glimpse of the ethnic Tuvans in Canis, going about their morning business. This place is huge, so apart from the lake, there's an awful lot to see. I don't think I'll ever forget the sense of peace and tranquility here. Canis is one of those special places you'll want to come back to again and again. If seeing all this makes you want to come, I suggest you book your flights and accommodation well in advance. Be warned, from June to September, prices can triple. But the picture-perfect scenery is worth every cent.
Canas is full of breathtaking views like this, and it might be tempting to just walk and take photos at the same time, but it's best to stop when you want to take a shot, because if there are no railings, it's pretty easy for you to fall over. So be careful.
The Tuvan Mongolians are very prominent in Canas. Being here gives us a great chance to learn more about their culture.
Canas actually means beautiful and mysterious in Mongolian, and for centuries the Tuva people, who are a branch of Mongolians, have lived here, and we're about to visit one of their homes, so we're just waiting for our turn now.
Tuvan nomads used to live by herding and hunting. Now they've settled into wooden houses in Canas, which boast the largest Tuvan population in China. You can visit their homes and see reminders of their roots, such as portraits of Genghis Khan and mounted wild animals.
Oh, look at this, it's really light. It's made of a reed of some sort. Oh, apparently it's really hard to play.
It's a traditional musical instrument unique to the Tuvans. This delicate reed flute is known as the suar. Playing it properly demands a high degree of skill. So high, in fact, that very few people can master it. We were quite lucky that there was someone here with us who could treat us to a suar melody. I found the tune captivating and completely in tune with the serenity of the Canas environment. When you visit their homes, you also get to try the wine made from mare's milk. Maybe they're trying to prepare us for the next performance.
It goes down quite well.
If you like to dance, then you'll love this part. I think the mare's wine helped us get into the mood. This interactive home visit makes us feel like we're getting a genuine taste of Tuvan culture. It's always good to go out on the high, making this the perfect goodbye to Canas. Although it would have been nice to stay longer, there's much more to see in Xinjiang. Next stop, Bai Harbor Village, 77 kilometers south of Canas. Bai Harbor is called China's first northwest village because it sits at China's most northwesterly point. It's only 1.5 kilometers from the border with Kazakhstan, and its population is roughly half Kazakh and half Tuvan, making it an interesting place to get a taste of village life. There are no big hotels here, but the local families offer cozy rooms that are much cheaper than in Canas. Some rooms are even designed like a felt house, guaranteed to make your stay memorable.
She's in the process of making alcoholic beverage out of milk. You don't see this every day, huh? Check this out, freshly baked naan. Oh, the aroma out of the oven.
Now, for someone with a fascination with borders, this is really exciting. At the back, that's Harbor, and it divides China and Kazakhstan. So China here and Kazakhstan, those mountains over there. So traveling around Xinjiang, it's a real bonus to see this. Surprisingly, this remote village has a post office, the closest in China to Kazakhstan. So it's postcard time. For a small village, Bai Harbor gets lots of visitors who are drawn to its beauty. And many things here are cheaper than in Canis. Look who's hanging out here as well.
太高兴，有缘分，有缘分，你好，太有缘分了。哎，玩的怎么样？
啊，好着，你呢？
啊，挺爽的。
马老师怎么样？
特别喜欢喀纳斯，太美了，但是没有看到水怪。
啊，水怪那是假的，那是。
有点希望，你觉得是假的？可是你觉得是？ 有吗？
有水怪。
有的人觉得有，有的人。
Looks like the monster's still a subject of much debate.
你们看这喀纳斯就是额尔齐斯河的上游，这个水呢就是我们国家唯一通向北冰洋的一条河流。它是由东向西流，然后又转向北流。
那么神奇。
这个我们国家其他的河流像长江都是由西向东流。洋南
这咱们的酸奶疙瘩。
Bonus, free food.
尝一下，
这个看起来像一块石头，不是石头，
这成吉思汗的
干粮，这叫
怎么吃的？就
One strange-looking piece of yogurt it is too. I wonder if it's good for my teeth.
好硬啊！冬季这里的人是做
冬季这个地方就封山了，这个路就过不去了。
那个就适合来哈纳斯的那个季节是什么
？9月份、6月份。 9月份整个这个树都是黄的、红的，非常美。
啊，太遗憾了，这一次我们没有看到。
北哈巴要出这个出作品出的最多的地方，这。
哇，真美啊！
好看吧？天蓝的，蓝蓝的。
哇。哈巴河我们也要去。
澳大利亚
好吗？
From what our friends tell us, Harbor is well worth seeing. To get there, you should travel south on this gorgeous stretch of road for 120 kilometers. The road snakes along the border, leading to Harbor town, where we're going to stay for the night before another day of exploration. With a population of around 80,000, Harbor County gets fewer visitors than Canis, but it actually has lots to offer. On this part of the border, there's a village where you can see a bit of military history. The military came here in the 1950s to guard the border area. However, in these more peaceful times, most people living here are now farmers. They grow mainly sunflower and cotton for a living. Summer is the busy season for the farmers. A small village like this would usually be pretty quiet, but now, with most of the farmers out in the fields working, it's even quieter. Eye Mountain, which faces Kazakhstan, is said to give off different emotion depending on the growth of the grass. What a sight!
Look, I can see Kazakhstan! So close!
And 15 minutes away from the village is a paradise few people have heard of. It's a sparkling gem hidden amongst sand dunes. Yes, I'm talking about Baishahu Lake. It was formed by natural pressure pushing aquifer water to the surface. This exquisite combination of cool water, lush green vegetation and wildlife in the desert is totally unexpected and completely mesmerizing.
This is a haven for photographers, and I'm getting an expert to give me tips on how to take it. Wow, this is a true oasis.
Traveling in Xinjiang, it's common to have to drive for hours from one place to the next. So it's important to be well rested if you're going to get the most out of your journey. I highly recommend you find a suitable town to use as your base and head out for day trips from there. We've made it back to Habahe town for a breather and to make preparations for the next destination. Habahe is a neat and tidy town with good food and accommodation, much like Burajing. So far, we've been through Burajing, Canis, Baihaba, and now Habahe, all of which have been suitable bases.
I'm so glad that we passed through Habahe County after Canis. I mean, this place is really blessed with natural wonders. And next up, we're going to Jimunai.
Our road trip, like much of the drive in Xinjiang, is insanely scenic, but the long journeys are physically and mentally testing. Xinjiang can be a pretty lonely place. If you want to get away from it all, this is for you. On the road, you can hear yourself think. Coming up, a spring that nomads believe to have magical powers, exotic goods in Jimunai market, and China's busy border crossing with Kazakhstan. Good morning from sunny and windy Jimunai. We arrived here in Jimunai last night after a 90k trip from Habahe, and compared to Burajing, there's no mozzies here. That's because there are little surface water, and it's also really cool at night. And this is the last leg of our Golden Triangle journey. Although it's only a small town, there are plenty to see here, and the first thing you realise when you get into town is the snow-capped mountains. Although it's not very high up, it's covered by snow all year round, so it's quite baffling. And there's also something really strange and magical to see, so let's not waste any time. Although this is Jimunai's biggest attraction, it's still pretty much off the beaten track, just like most of Xinjiang. Few tourists make it to spots like this. The upside is you'll have the place to yourself. The downside, though, is it's hard to get information on the internet, especially in English. Anyway, we're here at the Shenshичeng, meaning Magic Stone City.
那边好玩吗？
好玩，这边有个山洞，里面有小学。
哦，可以进去啊。
It's pretty mysterious. There's no water source, but water has gathered inside somehow.
Okay, let's go.
This magic spring apparently hasn't run dry for 1,000 years.
这是我们哈萨克族的导游方式。
We run into some local Kazakhs who've come to pray. Kazakhs and Mongolian nomads have been active in this area for a long time and believe the spring to be sacred and have magical powers. Kazakhs and Mongolians still make pilgrimages here to drink its waters and to pray for blessings. When you come here, you really have to take your time and make your own discoveries. They were just telling me that there's interesting rock formations and attractions everywhere. This place and the rest of Xinjiang is a photographer's paradise. It's a good idea to time your visits to sites like this so you can catch the sunset when the light conditions are at their best. With scenery like this, it's small wonder that photographers flock here. Is this coincidence or fate? So we ran into our 3 photographer friends again. And what are we going to do to celebrate in Xinjiang? We're going to have a feast, of course. 走我们去嘛。走，喝酒。走，饿了。One of the great joys of travel is befriending other travelers, swapping experiences over a drink. Our friends told us to check out the Jimunai market that's famous for selling goods from across the border. Just the place for me to stock up on souvenirs. With Kazakhstan just across the border, Jimunai is a great place to come and pick up on souvenirs, food, and see what we've got. Biscuits, jam, and even vodka to keep you warm in winter. Although it's only a small market, the variety of goods is huge. How about this made-to-order boots?
冬天好的很，这个穿这种话叫什么？
牧民也穿这个
啊？
牧民。
啊，对，牧民穿这个。这是哈萨克族吧？
哈萨克。
有些人在这儿有些维族人来说很知道。
The Djibouti border crossing is pivotal to tourism and trade between China and Kazakhstan. No doubt many of the Kazakh merchandise at the market pass through this very gate. Here it feels like everything's on the move.
So we've been catching glimpses of Kazakhstan as we're travelling down south to Djibouti. And here you can actually set foot into Kazakhstan. We're at the frontier. This is the Djibouti border crossing. So if you want to cross between China and Kazakhstan by land, this is the place to do it. This is really exciting. International travel. Our trip in this part of Xinjiang happens to run along China's border with Kazakhstan. As you can see, this is the borderline here. I've been fascinated with the diverse border towns and to see how they've been influenced by their geography. We've also been blessed with some amazing scenery like Lake Canis and the oasis in Habaho County. Our trip in Xinjiang is far from over though. On the next episode, I'll take you to Fuhai County to see Xinjiang's second largest lake. I'm James Lamb, thanks for watching Travelogue.
Our new friends' story about their time in Canis have made us even more excited about going there. But first, there's something we have to do in Burajing. A must-see here is the Yardang landscape, sculpted by nature's power. Strong winds from Siberia and Central Asia leave Xinjiang dotted with magnificent wind-eroded scenery like this.
We literally had to race here before the sunset. We're at the Wucaitang, which literally translates to five-colour beach. And look at the colours. It's really extraordinary. And the most amazing thing is there's a river that divides this place. And on the one side it's barren, rocky, deserted landscape. Look at the colours. It's so mysterious. And on the other side it's green, luscious forest. Just take a closer look. Amazing stuff.
Those funny-looking hats aren't Xinjiang fashion items. They serve the highly practical function of protecting you from mosquitoes from the town's rivers. The mosquitoes appear as the sun sets, but once you've sprayed on a bit of repellent, you're ready to hit the Burajing night market beside the river. Everyone who comes here must try their cold water fish. The fish is firmer than warm water fish, and here they're grilled and seasoned with cumin.
叫什么鱼？这个叫多罗龟，漂亮吧？
哇，还有最好的
I really love their fish here.
还有狗鱼的啊，还有这么大的小江小，好漂亮的，无里无子的野生黑鱼，哦，它厉害的很，就在长池里。
They're especially crazy about their river cod and perch, which aren't commonly found in other parts of China. As far as I know, this is the first time I've eaten fish caught from waters running into the Arctic. It's pretty exciting. The smell and taste are just divine. It's tempting to carry on eating and drinking all night. In Flare.
Now, a lot of people heading to Canis make a pit stop here in the northern Xinjiang city of Burajing. There are loads of places to stay here, but if you want something with a difference, then this ethnic Russian family-run hostel is definitely for you. It really has a Russian feel to it. Look at the decor. And this map. This map was hand-drawn by the owner. We're actually quite close to Russia, so ethnic Russian minorities live here. Definitely a quaint place to stay as part of your Canis adventure.
Hotel prices here tend to be cheaper than Canis, 130 kilometers north. Burajing is a comfortable place to stay, so I really suggest you spend some time here relaxing and taking in the local sights.
怎么会有那么多摄影设备啊？
我们刚从哈拉斯下来。
啊，我们也要去啊。
哦，
喀纳斯很美啊。
哦，你们有看到水怪吗？
水怪要运气很好才能看到。
哦，我们真的很希望能看到。
希望你们能看到。
是水怪吗？
不是水，不是水怪。
Hi, I'm James Lamb and welcome to Travelogue. On the last episode, we got to know Altai City and its colourful Kazakh residents. Today, we're going to go in search for the elusive Lake Canis monster and journey through some fascinating border towns. But first off, we're going to go to Borajing, sit back and enjoy. After a 2.5 hours drive west of Altai City, we arrived in Borajing. This town of some 70,000 people sits on the northern edge of the Jungara Basin, which stretches from the Altai Mountains to the Tian Shan Mountains in the south. With Russia not far away, the town's architecture has a certain European... In this episode of Travelogue, we'll whisk you away on a whirlwind adventure through some of the most spectacularly beautiful landscapes in the world. We'll visit the renowned Lake Canis and try our luck at finding its elusive monster. And we'll journey through some fascinating towns and villages on China's frontier.